Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
Do you remember where we stopped?
Yes, sir. Today we have to start up to slide number 48, sir.
Yes, starting from the slide number 48. So
Yes.
far, let me capture some, the previous things that we have discussed. We discussed the types of employment, casual workers, and the constructive termination, right? And termination by employer for disciplinary reason and for non-disciplinary reason. And then termination of employment of workman, termination covered by the act. So, and then employment covered by the TEVA, right? TEVA means Termination of Employment of Workman Act. Okay, right. Okay, tell me whether the Termination Act, does it cover the semi-government sector workers? Does it cover semi-government sector workers? Those who are working in statutory bodies like board, authorities. Does it cover? No. This act covers only, this act is applicable only for the private sector workers, right? Government sector, not at all. But even for the semi-government sector, you know that, other legislations are applicable to the semi-government sector workers. But this act does not apply or cannot be applied to the termination, or the private, semi-government sector workers. Okay. Look at the slide number 47, ladies and gentlemen. It talks about any person employed by the government, workers of any local government authority, municipality, urban council, provincial council, cooperative society, right? Public corporations are excluded. They are not covered by this act. Only the private sector workers are covered by this act. Only the private sector workers are covered by this act. Okay. Right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will look at the types of application that can be made under the TEVA. TEVA means Termination of Employment of Workman Act, the short title, right? You won't be able to see my face properly today because of some reasons, right? The place I am delivering this one, a couple of times it happens. What is important is not my face, but my voice and what I'm discussing about. Okay, I'm repeating, you won't be able to see but just now you can see because of my, the light, the small light. If light is gone, then you won't see my face. Face is not important. There are according to the provisions of this ordinance, ladies and gentlemen, there are two types of application that can be made to the relevant authorities. The one type of application is that the application made to terminate the service of a workman or made by the employer. This is called pre-termination application. Employers may want to reduce their staff. Now, like, the situation like this, right? Economic crisis that we are facing right now. Some employers, some businesses are about to close. Some businesses, a small one, have already been closed. But any organization, any employees, at least 15 or more workers, such employers are not supposed to terminate their workforce without obtaining the permission. There are two types of permission. One is they can offer retirement scheme or voluntary resignation scheme. If workers accept it, yes, get, the letters in writing saying that from the workers, saying that, okay, they accept whatever is offered by the company and they take as compensation and they leave the place. That is what we call written prior consent of the workers. That is not an application. That is kind of a, the request from the workers explaining the situation. If they agree, it's okay. If they do not agree, the employers are not supposed to terminate them by force. In such a situation, employer has option. What is that option? The employer can, make an application or request rather, that is called application, right, to the Commissioner General of Labor, explaining the situation and why the employer cannot maintain this workforce, and the employer can ask the Commissioner General of Labor the permission of the Commissioner General of Labor to terminate such people. That is one type of application. Okay. If Commissioner General agrees by investigating everything, the Labor Department may accept the application, meaning that allowing the employer to terminate the workers concerned by paying the compensation according to the formula, right, brought into this legislation or TEVA Act by way of regulation. I will explain to you later, the couple of slides later. No, next, the slide, and just after one slide, the formula. And I will teach you how to calculate the compensation according to formula, right? So those who are working in the private sector, you have to familiarize with this formula in case if you are dealing with HR and Commissioner General approves or accepted the application made by the employer to terminate, then it is your responsibility to calculate. The Labor Department will calculate, but you have to calculate yourself and appropriate or not appropriate exact amount must be paid to the employees, those who will be terminated. Do you understand? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So next subtopic, types of application, subtopic or subtopic, types of application that can be made under the TEWA, TEWA, Termination of Employment of Workmen Act. සේවකයන්ගේ රැකියාව අවසන් කිරීමේ පනත. Number one. Application to terminate. Application to terminate the service of a workman made by the employer to the labor commissioner, or commissioner of labor or commissioner general of labor. Within bracket, pre-termination application, PRE-termination application. සේවය අවසන් කරන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා අවසර පතනවා. Application එකක් දාලා. That is called pre-termination application. That is what I have already discussed so far. The number two, right. This application, second one is in case employer terminate a workman, if employer terminates a workman where 15 or more workers have been employed, right? Without...
Excuse me, sir, can you repeat the sentence? And you are too fast.
Which one are you taking? I didn't give you anything. Number two, I'm not giving you the note. Only
Okay.
number one, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Let me, I will ask you to take note, right? So I'm explaining this situation. You have to listen carefully, right? The second type of application is, for example, employer does not obtain prior consent of the workers. No prior approval from the Commissioner General of Labor making an application. That is number one, right? He has to make an application without making any application or without getting prior approval from the worker, employer terminates that workman. It is illegal. So then such worker can make an application to the Commissioner General of Labor against the decision of the employer, against the termination. This is called post-termination application. රස්සා අවසන් කරාට පස්සේ ඒක නීති විරෝධී. එහෙනම් කොහෙටද යන්නේ? Application එකක් ඉදිරිපත් කරනවා. This application, right, can be made to the Commissioner General of Labor or the Labor Tribunal. The workman needs to understand this. What is that? If employer terminates his or her employment illegally, they can make an application to the labor tribunal, right? Whatever the case may be. But the worker must make an application to the labor department if such worker is covered by the Termination Act. If the termination of workman is not covered by the Termination Act, the worker cannot make an application to the Commissioner General of Labor, right? You understand, right? Previously, I repeatedly told you that workers, the employers, those who have employed 15 or more workers are covered by this Termination Act. If you have completed 180 days of work within the first 12 months, then again you are covered by this act. Okay? That is the, you remember that, the previously we employed covered by this act, right? Workers employed in a business where 15 or more workers have been employed, right? And any workman who has been employed by an employer for a period of not less than 180 days, right? Less not than, not you other way around, not less than, right? 180 days. So at any time, if your employment will be terminated or has been terminated, you can go to LT. There is no barrier. But if your employment is covered by the TEVA Act, my advice is make an application to the Commissioner General of Labor because it is the speedy process. Okay? Understand? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Number 2, take your note. Number 2, application against a termination by the employer made by the workman. The first one made by the employer, asking permission. Number 2, made by the workman against the decision of the employer, made by the employee or workman. Within bracket, post termination application. Post termination application. Okay. This application, this full stop, within bracket post termination full stop, and then continue. This application can be made labor tribunal or to the Commissioner General of Labor, Commissioner of Labor. Full stop. Full stop. So continue then, full stop, and then this application, sorry, not this application. It is possible to make this type of application, application to the Labor Commissioner if such worker is covered by TEWA, TEWA, Termination of Employment of Workman Act. Right. And then what are the relief, right, that you can obtain under TEWA Act? When you make an application, right, to the Labor Department, CGL means Commissioner General of Labor. The Commissioner may order to reinstate with back wages, පසු වැටුප් සහිත නැවත සේවයේ පිහිටුවන්න කියලා order එකක් දෙන්න පුළුවන් ආයතනයට. But if the company has already been closed, so there is no possibility to issue an order to reinstate because there is no company to reinstate. In such situation, Commissioner General may order compensation and gratuity as an alternative to reinstatement. Under LT decision also, right, the same scenario, or the Labor Tribunal also, right, they follow the same procedure. Okay, if you go to LT, right. Subtopic, relief under TEWA. Relief. මොකක්ද සහනය කියන එක? Relief under TEWA. Right. First bullet form. Where an employer terminates a workman in contravention පරස්පරෝ වැරදි විදියට contravention of TEWA. ඒ කියන්නේ පනතේ ප්‍රතිපාදනවලට පටහැනි විදිහට සේවය අවසන් කළොත් කරනවට TEWA. Commissioner may order, Commissioner or LT, both Commissioner or LT may order. LT means Labor Tribunal. Order reinstatement නැවත සේවයේ පුනපත් කිරීම කියලා සිංහලෙන් කියන. තන් නැවත පිහිටුවීම. Reinstatement with back wages, පසු වැටුප් සහිතව, අසාධාරණ සහ අයුතු සහගත ලෙස, illegally. if employment of a workman is terminated and such worker can make an application to the labor commissioner or the LT, and then as relief, both labor commissioner and the LT may order reinstatement with back wages. Bullet number 2. Due to, sorry, where such termination is due to closure of business. Closure kind of wahala දාපු එකකට, right? Closure of business, comma, commissioner or LT commissioner or LT. LT means labor tribunal. May order compensation and gratuity as an alternative to reinstatement. Alternative to reinstatement. Alternative to reinstatement. Is it clear? Everybody? Dilini?
Yes, sir. Clear.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, right. Gamunu?
Yes, sir, clear.
Right. Then we are moving to next slide. Next bullet form. No new subtopic, but the next bullet form. Right, next bullet. Up to 2003, there was no limit. There was no limit. Stroke restriction. Restriction on the compensation awarded by the Commissioner General of Labor. Right, let me explain this point. What does it mean? Ladies and gentlemen, up to 2003, when the compensation is determined, Commissioner had the authority, Commissioner General of Labor had the authority to determine how much money should be paid as compensation. Right? In determining such amount, commissioner considered the viability of the company, the age limit of the terminated worker, whether there is a possibility for him to find out another job, right? Whether the company is a big company or small company, what is the affordability? All these factors were considered, right? When commissioner, right, make his award determining the amount of compensation. But that authority was cancelled or eliminated in 2003, bringing the compensation formula into the act by way of regulation. Minister of Labor can make regulation to the Labor Act. Act says that, in certain areas, sometimes the provision is there, very, the specific provision, but it can't, they explain everything within the act. So therefore, right, provision is included in the act. If required, minister can make regulation, right? So using that provision, having discussed with various parties, the TEVA formula or compensation formula was introduced. And then the authority authority that the commission had to determine compensation, right, has gone already, because commissioner cannot determine on his own, because very specific formula is there, right, passed by the parliament. So commissioner cannot go beyond what law says. However, the 2000 formula was too complicated. 2003 formula, right? So next bullet form, in 2003, amending the TEVA Act. Amending the TEVA Act. A formula of compensation. A formula of compensation. A formula of compensation was introduced by way of regulation. By way of regulation. By way of regulation. Right. Due to the complexity of due to the complexity of 2003 formula, new compensation formula new compensation formula was introduced in 2005. In 2005. In 2005. Okay. According to that formula, maximum compensation was determined as 1.25 million rupees. 1.25 million rupees. Right? 1.25 million rupees. 12,50,000. But without amending the formula, maximum compensation limit was increased from 1.25 million to 2.5 million through the amendment made in year 2021. The formula was not changed, but the maximum ceiling was increased. Accordingly, the following formula is applied when the compensation is calculated when the compensation is calculated, right, in relation to termination, So you have to write note down this formula, right? You have to write. This is the formula, ladies and gentlemen. The compensation formula, not of, right? Don't write of formula of 2000, yes, of 2005, not in 2000. This is the applicable one. Here, you see, is it visible? Is it visible? Do you see the slide?
Yes, sir, we can see the.
Yeah. So look at this, the compensation formula, right, of 2005, not in, sorry, just let me formula of, right, not in 2005. Okay. So let me make it larger. Just yes. So left side, you see, as the 2003 formula was complicated, a new formula based simply on the number of years a worker has served with an employer at the time of termination was published in 2005. This is the but at that time maximum compensation, max means maximum compensation, was 2.5 million, sorry, 1.25 million, but now 2.5 million as per the amendment in year 2001. Let me explain little bit. The first column, ladies and gentlemen, is a number of years of service, right? Compelled at the date of termination. Completed at the date of termination. How many years you have served with that employer at the to the date that your employment is terminated. And then second column is about the number of months salary to be paid as compensation for each year of service. This is in terms of months. Salary, right? Salary means the last drawn salary, right? The salary that at the time that your employment was terminated, last drawn salary. Salary means basic salary plus cost of living allowance. Or some, if, the budgetary relief allowance of Workers Act, right? The allowances are applicable. Those are also included, right? I have explained to you what do we mean by salaries. Basically, it's a basic salary plus cost of living, right? Not earning, right? Salary. So this one, the last column, is about the maximum compensation cumulative in month, cumulative. Okay. So let me explain first before you write it down, right? Up to 5 years of service, one to 5 years. Remember that 1 year, if you have worked, say for example, if you have worked, say 8 months continuously, are you entitled for compensation? Because you don't have 1 year service, no? This is 1 to 5 years. So what do you think? If you have not worked completed 1 year, right? Say just about 7 months, 8 months. Do you entitle for, at least 2.5 months salary? 2.5 months salary? Do you entitle or not? Are you entitled or not? Sorry.
No, sir.
Yes. Yes. Answer is yes. Why? Why?
Because the reason is not completed to the 1 year Yes, sir.
Right. I said yes, but it is not correct. Right. Remember, I encourage you to explain further, saying yes for your wrong answer. Right. You are entitled. Why? How? How? You don't have 1 year of service. So how can you entitle, for compensation if your employment is terminated? Try to recall your memory. Go to the, the previous slides, not slides, you have taken notes. Can anybody give me any hint or at least something? Okay, let me pose this question. Right. If you have worked 180 days within the first 12 months of employment, can your employer terminate you directly? If you have worked with an employer 180 days, right, within the first 12 months of employment, can your employer terminate you illegally? මතක නෑනේ ඔයගොල්ලොන්ට මේ මෙච්චර explain කරලා කියනවා, right? මෙච්චර කියනවා. Look at now. See this slide. Do you see the slide? Do you see the slide?
Yes, sir.
Employment covered by TEVA. What is the second point? Any workman who has been employed by an employer for a period of, here, it should be not less than, less not than, is the other way, not less than 180 days in the continuous period of 12 months immediately before the termination of employment. Immediately, okay, no, less, not than 100, that is correct, right? Because, it has written on the other way. Immediately before the termination of, right, termination of employment. So you are covered to employment. So 180 days, 180 needs not be consecutive, can be the total, right, within 12 months. So you are covered by the TEVA. If your employment is covered by the TEVA without permission or without prior consent of you, can employer terminate you or not? He cannot. It is illegal. So then what is the point? So if you have completed 180 days with an employer, it is considered as 1 year. In the first year, only within the first 12 months. Okay. Understand? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir. Now got the idea.
So if you have completed 180 days, you are covered by this act. If you are covered by this act, you are entitled for compensation as well if your employment is terminated. So here, if you have completed 180 days within the first 12 months, it is considered as 1 year. Then after the first 12 months, how many years they have served? Okay, that is how it is calculated. So up to 5 years, 2.5 months salary per year of service. So altogether, how many? 12.5 months. 2.5 into 5, you will get 12.5 months. Then, if you have worked up to 14 years, from 6th year to 14th year, 5 වෙනි අවුරුද්දේ ඉඳලා 14 වෙනි අවුරුද්දට වෙනකම්. from 6th year to 14th year. How many years? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. How many years? From 6 to 14, how many years? I can't hear any voice. How many? Amanda, I can't hear you.
Nine years, no, sir.
The Noki can years, 9 years. Calculate, the basic, the arithmetic. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 9 years. So, for 9 up to, right, for this period, 2 months salary per 1 year of service. So, how many years? 9 years. 9 years into 2, how many months? You have to engage with me. 9 into 2, how many? What is the amount? 18. 18. So
18,
it's a
sir.
cumulative. When you add to this, that 18 for this 12.5, what is the amount you get? 30.5. You add this 18 for 12.5. That is what we call cumulative. Samuchita. Ekatu evi yano, right? So if you have worked 14, exactly 14 years, you are entitled for, the compensation, right? Calculated based on, for 30.5 months. But for the first 12 months, for the first 12, sorry, for the first 5 years, 2.5 months per year. So multiplied by your salary. And for the next 9 years, right, 2 times, 2 months, right? Meaning that 2 into 9, 18 months. 18 months into, right, your last drawn salary. I will calculate one. I will give you a question and you have to calculate with me. So from 15 to 19 years of service, and meaning that you have 19 years of service. Then from 15 to 19, how many years? 5 years. For that 5 years, you will get only 1.5 months salary for each year of service. So 1.5 into 5 means 7.5. 7.5 months. When you add 7.5 months to this 30.5, you will get 38 months. So cumulate. If you have worked up to 24 years, from 20 to 24, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 5 years. For that 5 years, you will get, 1 month salary for each year of service. So 5 years. So when you add this 5 years into this 48, you will get 43 cumulative. And if you have worked up to 34 years or 60 years, but the maximum period, the cutoff point, right? It is, even though you have worked up to 35 years or 40 years, the compensation will be calculated up to 34 years. Okay. From 25 to 34, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 10 years. 10 years of service. But for that 10 years of service, you will get 0.5 months salary for each year of service. So 0.5 into 10 years, the answer is 5. When you add that 5 for this 43, you will get 48 months. This is the cumulative months are being calculated. Is calculated. Now, you are supposed to take your note, right? So you know, take your note as it is, right? You will see very clearly the presentation, the slide. You will get this slide, take you or not. Okay. I will give you 5-6 minutes. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. Are you done? Finished?
Yes, sir. Completed.
Right. Now, let us calculate. Let us make some calculations, okay? Just 1 second. Right. What is that? Just 1 second. Yes. Is this number 1, 2? Just 1 second. I am trying to find out a question. Okay, let's see. I'm struggling to find out something. Okay, right. I can't find it out. Just LPEC paper, LPEC paper, yeah, LPEC paper 2. Just please bear with me, right? I had prepared some question. Okay, right. Say that Kamal is just 1 second. මං ඔයාලට පැය භාගකින් ගන්නම් පොඩි වැඩකින්. So I can't find it out. I'm trying to. මචං මං ගන්නම් පස්සේ ගන්නම් පොඩි වැඩකින් ඉන්න මචං පස්සේ ගන්න. So company unit 1. This is unit 1 LPEC. Introduction, how many papers so far? ILO, health, government, and employment law, CV. What is happening? Okay. Okay, I can't find it out. Right. Desktop. Just check once again. Industrial relations systems. Oh. Okay, right. Take you note. Sri Lanka company, Sri Lanka company, Sri Lanka company. Make a Sri Lanka company, Sri Lanka company has employed 300 workers, 300 workers, and due to non-availability of exports, due to non-availability of non-availability due to non-availability of demand, due to non-availability of demand for exports, the company wants to close down its international branch, international, oh, its compliance branch, where 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 poor workers are working. Poor workers are working. Four workers are working. Namely, Kasun, Kamal, Kapila, and Kokila. Okay, full stop. The company made an application. The company made an application, right? Pre-termination or prior termination. Company made an application to the Labor Department or Commissioner of Labor seeking approval to terminate these workers. Full stop. Assumes that assumes that Commissioner General approves, grants, Commissioner General grants the approval and approval to terminate them paying the compensation based on the compensation formula. The last drawn salaries and the last drawn salaries and the last drawn salaries and the years of service. The years of service of them are as follows. Right. Kasun, 35 years, salary 60,000. Last drawn salary 60,000. 60,000. Hatada. Kamal, 5 years and 22,000 salary, 22,000. Kapila, 2 years and 18,000. Kokila, 11 months and 11 months and rupee 16,500. Rupees 16,500. Das Pansiya. Calculate, next para, calculate the compensation to be paid for each worker separately. Okay? For each worker separately. Right. Now, we will start from the easiest one first. Right? Who is the last man? The Kapila or Kokila? I don't remember now.
Kokila, sir.
Right. Right. Now, first, compensation for Kokila. First step. We will start from the easiest one. Compensation to be paid to Kokila. Compensation to be paid to Kokila. What is the formula? What is the formula? What is the formula? First step, right? The He has less than 1 year, meaning that more than 180 days. 11 months means more than 180 days. So months, number of months, number of, so formula is number of months into වැඩි last drawn salary. That is the formula. Number of months into last drawn salary. The how many months he is entitled? If it is 1 year, 2.1 year or less than more than 180 days, 2.5 months. So formula is 2.5 into 16,500. 2.5 into 16,500. So calculate. Right? You have to multiply it, right? You can do it later, right? Or if you have calculator, multiply it. 2.5 into 16,500. How much you get? $41,000. Sorry. Yeah, 41,250. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. And the second man, the easiest one, is Kapi. Who is that? The third,
Kapila, sir.
Kapila. How many years of service?
2 years.
2 years, no?
Yes.
Right. So compensation to be paid to Kapila. Next, number 2, compensation to be paid to Kapila. Kapila or I don't know, the third man. Is it Kapila, no?
Kapila.
All right. Compensation to be paid to Kapila. How many years service of, right? First, the formula is number of years of service, number of years of service. First one is easy, no? He has only, the less than 1 year means only 1 year. So we don't need to multiply 1 by 2.5. If you multiply 2.5 by 1, you will get the same answer. So formula in this regard is, right, number of years of service into වැඩි කිරීම, number of months into වැඩි කිරීම, last drawn salary. Last drawn salary. So how many years of service?
2 years.
2 into up to 5 years. How many months per year of service? 2.5. So 2 into 2.5. දෙක වැඩි කිරීම 2.5 into last drawn salary. වැඩි කිරීම අවසන් වැටුප. කීයද? 22,000 නේද? Oh, 18,000. Is it 18,000?
Yes, sir. 18,000.
Right. No, now calculate. Number of years of service 2. 2 into 2.5 is 5. 5 into 18,000. 90,000. Am I correct? $90,000. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right, 90,000. So next man, that number 2, who is that?
Kamal.
Kamal. Kamal or Amal?
Kamal, sir.
Kamal. So payment to be, number 3, compensation to be paid to Kamal. How many years of service he has?
5 years.
5 years.
How many?
5 years.
Okay. Oh, apply the formula. Number of years of service up to 5 years. Up to 5 years, 2.5 months. So 5 into 2.5 months into last drawn salary, 22,000. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. So 5 into 2.5 into 22,000. How much? කැල්ලකින් ගාලා කවුරු හරි කියන්න නැත්නම් ෆෝන් එකකින් හරි කමන්න.
275,000.
Sorry?
275,000.
275,000. Is it correct? Others got the
Yes,
same
sir.
answer?
Correct. Yes,
Oh,
sir. Correct.
Right. Last one, 4th. Compensation to be paid to whom? Paid to කාටද?
Kasum.
Kasun. So this is the most difficult one. We will deal with this after break. Right now, 9:25. So 9 up to 9:40 or maybe 9:35, maybe 9:40, you have break. Okay. So be with me, right? Sharp at 9:40. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Right. Shall we start?
Okay, sir.
Right. Good. Once again, I'm asking, is there anybody from the private sector here? Anybody from the private sector? Dilini, what about you? I
Yes,
can't.
sir. I worked several types of job because of I
Oh,
worked as a counselor.
okay, right, good. Just 1 second, 1 second. Give me 1 second. Right, good. Sevandi, Amaratunga. No response. Okay, why I'm asking is, if you are working in the private sector, this is very, very important. Or if you are having kind of, doing some consultancy or this one is very, very important. Right. And the last man, number 4, who is that?
Name is Kasun, sir.
Okay. Compensation to be paid to Kasun. Compensation to be paid to Kasun. How many years of service that he has? How many years? How many years of service this man has? I don't remember, just I gave you, it is not with me right now. How many years of service? Yamanu?
35 years, sir.
Okay, 35 years. Right. So then how many steps we have to go? How many steps, right? Do we need to follow? Because, from 1 year to 5 year, one step. 6 to 14 years, another step. 14 to 19 years, another step. 20 to 24 years, another step. And 25 up to 30, whether he has worked 35 or 40 years, maximum is 34, right? So 25 to 34, another steps. So take your note as what is as this person, as this person, as ASS, this person, as this person has, as this person has 35 years of service. $35 of service. There are 5 steps. There are 5 steps. Need to be followed. Need to be followed in calculating compensation. Compensation. Even though even though he has 35 years of service, only 34 within bracket maximum within bracket maximum, only 34 within bracket maximum, close the bracket, years of service will be taken into consideration. Okay. Right. Next para, first step, right? So you don't need to write first step, right? Next para or next, up to 5 years of service. Up to 5 years of service. Put a dash. 5 into 2.5. 5 into 2.5. Number of years of service into number of months, right? Month's salary to be paid as compensation for each year of service. So 5 into 2.5 into 60,000 equal, put the number, 5 into 2.5 into 60,000 equal, you get the amount. How much?
750,000.
Okay. Anjali, what is the number you get? Anji. Oh, they are not there. I don't know, right? This is not, I'm telling you, you can read, other subjects, that you can read note and, follow the, but this is different. This is not my view. Under HRD, HRM, all those, under those subjects, you will learn the, the ideas of professionals, gurus. But what I'm teaching is not ideas of mine or any other gurus. I'm teaching you industrial law, the provisions of labor laws. These are, they are in the labor legislation. I can't change this, right? So we need to know how to calculate. This is the formula. Formula is there. So it is our duty, or the duty of the HR people, if people are, the workers are terminated, you are supposed to calculate properly the compensation to be paid. Okay, right. Anybody is, Amanda, what is the amount you get? Okay.
750,000.
Okay. The next, Ilanga rule alien, right? Next para. From 6 years to 14 years of service. From 6 years to 14 years of service. 6 to 14 years. put a dash. How many years? How many years? From 6 to 14? 9.
9.
Okay, then put it as 9 into 2.
Yes.
9 into 2. Here, look, 2 months for each year, for this slab, for this period, right? 9 into 2 into 60,000. Name වැඩි කිරීම දෙක වැඩි කිරීම 60,000. Okay, what is the amount? Yes. 1,80,000. 1,080,000. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Then the third step. Right. From 15 to 19 years of service. From 15 to 19 years of service. From 15 to 19, put a dash. From 15 to 19 years of service, put a dash. And then how many years? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 5 into 1.5. 5 is the years of service. For 1 year, 1.5 months salary. So 5 into 1.5 into 60,000. 450,000. 450,000. Okay. Did you get the answer?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Right. Next one, fourth step. From 20 to 24 years. Put a dash. From 20 to 24 years. Put a dash. Dash එකක් දාලා. Number of years of service, 5. 5 into 1 into 60,000. 300,000. ලක්ෂ 3යි. 300,000. Next step. From 25 to 34, maximum, even though he has worked 40 years, but it goes maximum up to 34. So 25 to 34. How many months? 10 months. So put a dash from 25 to 34. Put a dash from 25 to 34. Fifth step. From 25 to 34, put a dash. 10 into 0.5. 10 වැඩි කිරීම 0.5 into 60,000. Again 300,000. Okay. Now, rule, marker, just rule it and then calculate the total amount. Total amount. right? What is the total? Okay, tell me, I will calculate. Tell me what was the first step and the amount of the first step? පළවෙනි පියවරේ ගාන කීයද? What is the first amount of first step?
750,000, sir.
750,000, right? Okay, plus second step,
1,080,000.
1080,000, right?
Shall I tell the answer, sir? Total?
Yeah, let me calculate, right? And the third step,
450,000.
450,000. Okay, right. The fourth one, 300,000.
300,000, sir.
And the fifth one as well, 300,000.
Yes, same.
Right. What is the amount you got?
The amount is 2,808,000, sir.
Yes, exactly correct. 2 million or 2,080,000, right? Sorry, 880,000. 2,880,000. 28 ලක්ෂ 80,000. So what is the compensation, the entitlement, compensation entitlement by කවුද මේ මනුස්සයාගේ නම මොකද්ද? What is his name?
Kasun.
Kasun. What is the amount now?
Kasu.
Oh yes, Kasun. What is the amount to be paid to Kasun?
2,880,000.
2,880,000. Is it correct? Dilini, what do you think? Right? Will he get 2,880,000? What do you think? Dilini, is he entitled? Yes or no? I can't hear. No, it is not, your voice is not clear. I mean, I can't hear you. Okay. Yamunu? Kavisha? Anji? Sevandi Amaratunga? Nobody is responding. Okay. The total amount is 2,880,000. So, will this Kasun get 2,880,000? That is my question. Dilini? Why can't hear any voice? Amanda? Oh, Kavisha? Hey, right, you have to respond.
I think, sir, no.
Why? Why you say I think? Why you say I think?
Because the maximum amount is 2.5.
So then why do you use I think? Right? You are correct, right? So he is not entitled for 2,880,000 because law says his entitlement is maximum 2.5 million rupees. So why do you say, I think? You don't need to think. Law is very clear. It is stipulated in law. It is not my idea. It is not your idea. You and me can't change what law says. Law says, even though the total amount is 5 or 10 million, you can't get that amount because the law has fixed a ceiling, maximum. Okay, that is 2.5 million. Okay, now, right, next para. Even though he is entitled for, even though, right, even though he's entitled, yes, he's entitled for 2,880,000 according to law, according to law, he will be paid only 2.5 million rupees. He will be paid only 2.5 million rupees because according to law, maximum amount to be paid is 2.5 million rupees. 2.5 million rupees. Is it clear now, everybody?
Yes, sir.
So you have to remember this formula. Definitely there is a calculation. I will not give a question up to, for you to use the 5 steps, maybe up to 3 steps, right? Maybe up to 3 steps, right? So therefore, up to 3 steps, you have to remember from 1 to 5, 2.5 for each year. From 6 to 14 years service, 2 months per 1 year of service. From 15 to 19, 1.5. So here up to 5 years, 5 into 2.5. 14 years, 9 into 2. Up to 19 years, 5 into 1.5. Right? Up to that level, you have to remember, right? Okay. Limitations. Next subtopic. Limitations. Limitations. Take your note. Right? Most of you have just locked, but 90% of you are not talking. That not 90%, 70%. Only couple of people, right? Couple of people, 3, 4, maximum 2, 3 people. They are just engaging with me, answering. This is because, right? I can't blame you, right? Maybe in other lectures, right? You just, listen and take the note, right? When the lecture is reading. But this is not like that, right? So just reading doesn't give you much knowledge. We have to discuss, engage. There are calculations. This is law, right? EPF calculations, ETF calculations, gratuity calculation, right? And compensation calculation, right? Mathematics as well, but very simple mathematics. Okay, that is the difference. Yamunu, are you taking what I'm saying? Do you understand?
Yes, 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 understood.
Right. So next, limitations. Try to get maximum because, I will not be, delivering lectures in future, but, as I have accepted and I have started in the sense, we can't ask someone else, in the midst of this, the sessions. I have covered a lot of, I have conducted couple of lectures. So therefore, I have to finish this myself, right? Allowing someone may confuse you. Allowing someone to conduct this may confuse you. Okay, anyway, right? Try to question and get as much as knowledge and experience. Practical experience, right? So there are limitations, right? Bullet number one. Oh, number one. Say put not bullet, number one. Number one. If at the time of termination, of service, a workman has less than 4 years left of his service. First bullet. Sorry. If what I said, please can somebody tell me, what I said?
If at the time of termination of service, a workman has less than 4 years left of his service.
First bullet. He shall be paid either the aggregate salary ඒකාබද්ධ වැටුප for the period of denied service or compensation computed according to the formula. According to the formula, whichever is less. Whichever is less. Second bullet. Second bullet. If the period of denied ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරන කල denied service, if the period of denied service is more than 4 years, compensation according to formula. What does it mean? You know what the first one? Right. If at the time of the termination of his service, a workman has less than 4 years left of his service. අවුරුදු 4කට වඩා අඩුයි නම්. ක්‍රම දෙකක් තියෙනවා. The one is the aggregate. අවුරුදු 5 ඒ කාලේ aggregate salary, or the salary calculated according to formula, whichever the less, right? Make it complicated, very හිතන්න එපා, right? අවුරුදු 5ට වැඩි නම්, if denied service more than 4 years, not 5, then according to formula, right? That is, you know, there is some technical thing, you don't need to think about it, right? Number two, no amount in excess of, no amount in excess of rupees 2.5 million. Rupees 2.5 million. Within bracket, as per the new regulation, introduced in 2021, close the bracket. In 2021, close the bracket, shall be paid to any workman as compensation computed, C-O-M-P-U-T-E-D, computed, according to the formula. I'm trying to, raise, but some people, I don't know whether they just log on and ran away. එහෙම නේද? නැත්තම් ආන්සර් කරන්න ඕන නේද? ගැමුණු.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Now I'm moving to very interesting slide. So look. So okay, before that, what do you think about this compensation payment in Sri Lanka in terms of protecting labor rights and protecting business? What is your opinion? What do you think? Is it good or is it bad or moderate? The formula, the compensation, because if the if the employer does not pay, they have to go to jail. He or she has to go to jail. What do you think? In the context of world of work, is it okay if we are, the continuing with this formula? Just throwing some fruits for you to catch, not a stone. What do you think? Maybe you all are small kid, except, the couple of people. There are criticisms in relation to this termination of Employment of Workmen Act, rather TEWA, and the formula as well. Do you know Sri Lanka is the third highest country in terms of cost of retrenchment? සේවකයන් ඉවත් කිරීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් පිරිවැය අතින් ගත්තාම ලෝකේ වැඩිම පිරිවැයක් දරන රටවල් අතර තුන්වෙනි තැනට ඉන්නේ. Okay. See this one. Let me make it larger. Okay. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
This is my own, one. This is not in, our labels. What does it say? Compensation in Sri Lanka, SL means Sri Lanka compared to Asia. India. If you have worked, you experienced 9 months of service, approximately, you will get 12 days salary. 12 days salary as compensation. Only 12 days salary. Right? 12 days salary. If you have 4 years of service, only 12 months salary. If you have 20 years, this is in general, 20 years of service. My battery is running out. 10 months salary. Malaysia, 8 days, 2 months, 13.5 months. Philippines, 1 month, 2 months, 10 months. Singapore, 12 days, 4 months, 20 months. Thailand, 1 month, 6 months, 10 months. But Sri Lanka, 1.7 months approximately, or at least 1 year, right? 9 months and 46 months. If you have worked 20 years, you will get the 46 month salary as compensation. The highest in Asia so far, and the highest in the third, that's in the third highest in the world in terms of cost of retrenchment. Do you understand? So that is why people are criticizing, the employers in particular, criticizing about this formula. Okay? Right. Any questions so far? Do you have any question? Is it clear? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what I have explained, is it clear? If it is okay. If you have clear, I mean, clear understanding, that is okay.
Up to now, all are clear, sir.
Okay, very good. Right, very good. Now, right, before we move to, yeah, next one, because do you need any break? Oh, because we have another 40 minutes. Do you have any break? Because we just took only 10 minutes break, right? What do you think? Do you need 5-minute break or not?
No need, sir.
Okay, no need. Now, moving to my next slide. This is about the next topic, trade union law. Trade union law. This is a big topic. Trade union law. This is important. Under the trade union law, we will be discussing the provisions of trade union ordinance. But just before we jumping into trade union ordinance, we have to understand the background with regard to trade union law. What are the international instruments that we have to follow? And what are the local legislations? There are, as far as the trade union law is concerned, there are two types of instruments. One is international instruments. The other one is domestic instruments or domestic legislations or provisions, domestic law or legislations. Okay, right. Sorry. There are two types of two types of standards as far as trade union law is concerned. One is international standards. The other one is national standards. Take your note. As far as trade union law is concerned, trade union law, including freedom of association, freedom of association, is concerned there are two types of standards. There are two types of standards. There are two types of standards that we need to take into, that we need to take into consideration. That we need to take into consideration. Number one, international standards. Don't put number two. Number one, international standards. Under international standard, first bullet form. First bullet form. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Universal Declaration of Human Rights within bracket UDHR, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Close the bracket. Come on. Article 23. Vaganti Visituna. Right? Universal Declaration of Human Rights. මානව හිමිකම් පිළිබඳ විශ්වීය ප්‍රකාශනය විශ්ව ප්‍රකාශනය මානව හිමිකම් පිළිබඳ විශ්ව ප්‍රකාශනය. Right? Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR. So if you have a question, please let me know, right? You can't get this knowledge from anywhere. Whatever the lecture you attend, whoever deliver the presentation on trade union law, I sometimes, you may think that I'm overemphasizing my knowledge. Maybe, right? Maybe. Because, I know this because I have been engaging more than 8 years with international conventions, right? I have visited 21 times to Geneva. So for human rights and labor matters and for all this. So that is what I'm saying. You may think that, I'm just මොනවාද පම්පෝරි ගහන පම්පෝරි කියලා හිතුවත් කමන්නේ මේ ඇත්ත කියන්නේ මම මේ විෂය සම්බන්ධ ප්‍රාමාණික දැනුමක් මට තියෙනවා. right? ජාත්‍යන්තර කම්කරු සංවිධානයේ සහ ඒ වගේම human rights සම්බන්ධව මම ගොඩක් ඒවට සම්බන්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. So I know how they, react and what are the terms and conditions and everything. Right? I was the chair of the labor cluster, right, in the effort of obtaining GSP plus to Sri Lanka. I visited many times to Brussels and Geneva, right, to deal with the EU people. Okay, so that is why, question me, raise your questions, then only I can explain, otherwise no. Number two, in the second bullet, international covenant, COVENANT, covenant on civil and political rights. Within bracket, we call it in short ICCPR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Close the bracket, comma, Article 22. Article 22. Okay. Bullet number 3. Bullet number 3. International Covenant on just give me 1 second. Even I don't remember this, the singular terms. Just 1 second. Oh, give me one minute. Trade union law, Sinhala. No, it is not in Sinhala version, right? Trade union, I'm checking my other presentations, whether I have trade union law in Sinhala. No, I don't have. Okay, right. So, International Covenant on Economic, social and cultural rights, within bracket, ICESCR, International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, comma, with close the bracket, comma, Article 7 and 8. Right. If you go to website and type my name, right, and go to videos, then you will see the statement, or the speech I was delivering at this International Covenant on Economic and Political Right, Social and Cultural Rights in Geneva, couple of years back. Right. So, next bullet form, ILO Convention 87. And next one, ILO Convention 98. ILO Convention 98. So, there are a couple of, the ILO has already, what do you call this, adopted, right? Altogether around, 190 convention, if I'm not mistaken, of which 8 of them are co-conventions. We don't need to, we will be having a separate lecture. I will be delivering separate lecture on ILO conventions, even though it is not there, right, in the syllabus. First one, look at UDHR, Article 23. What it says: right to work, to pre-choice of employment. Forget about all these things. Universal UDHR, Article 23 says, what is that? With regard to trade union, right to form and trade unions. Do you understand? The Universal Declaration on Human Rights, which Sri Lanka is treaty to. අපි ලංකාව හැටියට මේ සියන මේ ටික ඔක්කොම පිළි අරන් තියෙන ඒවා. Next bullet, next para, right? Take your note, next para. After this, this bullet, next para. Sri Lanka has ratified an treaty to all above standards. Sri Lanka has ratified an treaty. Again, api එකඟ වුණා කියන එක. Treaty. Sri Lanka has ratified an treaty to all above standards. Right. Full stop. Therefore, it is the responsibility of government of Sri Lanka to implement the provisions stipulated in those standards in law and in practice. Right. Next para. I'm just summarizing. Next para. As per the Article 23, next para. As per the Article 23 of UDHR, the government of Sri Lanka needs to ensure right to form and join trade unions. Next para. Article 22 of next para. Article 22 of ICCPR, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Article 22 of ICCPR, which Sri Lanka Treaty 2 which Sri Lanka Treaty 2. අපි බැඳී සිටින Sri Lanka Treaty 2. requires to protect the right to freedom of association, the right to freedom of association with others, including the right to form and join trade unions. The right to form and join trade unions. Okay, just wait for a while, right? My battery is almost finished. Oh, just wait for a while, huh? Sri Lanka, just after independence, we invest a lot on education and health. As a result, people now live longer. There is no specific retirement age for the private sector workers. People think that, the female can withdraw their EPF on the basis of the termination of employment at the age of 50. We need to allow the female to work in the night under certain conditions. We need to look at the productivity aspect as well. Just okay, now sorry. So just I was, just I was going through one of my, the media, not campaign, right? My explanation to the media. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
Right. There are plenty, right? So if you have time, go to that one, right? Next para. As per the provisions of ICESCR, capital, ICESCR. Right to form and trade unions. Right to form and trade unions. Right to form trade unions, right to form trade unions and join the trade unions. and also right to strikes. Right to strikes must be ensured. I'm not going to discuss about the Philadelphia one. And then, so this is, this one is my last presentation.
Excuse
So
me, sir, can you
we
repeat the last sentence? And also right to strike must
right
be.
to strike, right?
Hmm.
Right to form and trade unions and join the trade unions, and also right to strike must be ensured. Must be ensured. Okay,
Okay, sir, thank you.
right. So then these things, the ILO declaration, I will let you know later. So from next day, we have to start from slide number 61. Okay, so we have 10 minutes more. Right. So it is up to you to raise questions. I allow you to raise questions. If you have any, clarification or whatever it is. I don't know. There are a couple of students, in this, group, but only maximum 10 people are attending. I don't know what other people, but if I'm just conducting, so 2 or 3 single medium one as well. More than 200 students, more than 200, around 300. They raise questions always. But this one, maybe, but anyway, if there is there any question or clarification? If not, I'm winding up. Is it okay? Hello?
All are clear, sir.
Then okay, right. So still we have just 1 second. We have 5 minutes more. Right. Just give me a couple of times. What is this? Uh, yeah, I'm trying because I'm let me check what is. Okay, now right, there are plenty, Okay, right, ladies and gentlemen, still we have, 7, 8 minutes, but around 10 minutes, but I'm not going to, keep you awake, right? So only 6 participants are there. So let me tell you good night, right? And we will meet in our next presentation, right? Remember me, we have to start from 61 because I don't have, my diary to, note it down because I'm in my vehicle on the road, right? So let me know, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night. You're welcome.